Hello.
Hi there. Welcome back to Restart After Divorce. This is episode 9.
9.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the power of positive thinking.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Okay.
Isn't there a book named after that?
I'm sure there's a book about it, yeah.
I'm sure there is. I think Power of Positive Thinking is a book. I would look on my phone at this point to see about it, but I'm not going to. I'm sure there is. I mean, positive thinking's been around for absolute centuries. Have you ever read Candide by Voltaire?
No.
Okay, so there is a character in Candide called Professor Pangloss, or is it Dr. Pangloss? He is a parody of positivist thinking that was very popular at that point in the 17th century.
Oh, wow.
And
wow, so that might be probably not the first book on positive thinking.
Not the first one, because, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think the example they use in Candide is the earthquake that destroyed Lisbon in Portugal, gave carpenters an opportunity to get lots of work. So, yeah, positive thinking, every cloud has a silver lining. It's not about what happens to you, it's about how you react to it. I think that's something I've always said, that you are dealt, and I paraphrase a particular phrase here. It's not about the cards you're dealt in life. It's about how you play them. It can be challenging, though, to stay positive. Sometimes the burdens of the world get on top of you, but you are allowed to be sad once in a while. Keeping it to yourself, keeping it internalized is never a good thing. Would you say you're a positive person?
Yes, I think it changed my life to think positively.
Yeah. Now, when did that start? Wasn't this week? Must have been sooner than that.
This week. So it happened after the second separation, when my second son was, after he was born. I went through that painful separation. So it started after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I, my life was kind of a mess at that point. And then I was living in a basement apartment, and then we finally moved to this little house. I remember vividly, it was right before Mother's Day. And I was like, oh, great. Being a single mom on Mother's Day, like nobody's going to celebrate it with you. The kids are little, and I gotta do everything on my own. But then all of a sudden I decided to look at things differently. I was like, you know what? We just moved to this amazing place where there's daylight, and we have this tiny house all by ourselves. There's a nice yard, and and I was like, you know what? It's actually really nice to spend that day with the boys, even though we don't have the material things that we would like. But being able to be together and spend that day together is so meaningful to me. And I was able to make, steps to a better life at that point. And I was like, you know what? I just decided to think positively. I just decided to say, you know what? The material things do not matter. What matters is that I'm able to spend that day with the boys, enjoy the day with the boys. And then that just made me feel so much better. And that's what we did.
And now you maintain that ever since?
I did my best to maintain that. I think the majority of the time pretty positive, but it's like ebbs and flow, right?
So
there are some days.
Let's use an example. You've made it clear, and some friends of mine who's listened to the podcast say your partner, the one that you have a contentious relationship, does sound quite difficult to deal with. How do you keep a positive mindset when dealing with situations like that and him?
Because of that difficult relationship, I've learned so much. I've grown so much as a person. I have more empathy for people, and I'm more compassionate. I'm a much kinder person. I think that experience really changed me as a person so deeply, because I and I understand people so much better because when I interact with someone, the interaction might not be very positive, and I can always step back and say, you know what, it's not personal. That person might be going through a tough day, or that's just the way they are. And I just look at things very differently. And I notice how if I change the way I look at things, Wayne Dyer has a book, the things around me change too.
Oh, yeah.
Because instead of dwelling and being very sad, like on that Mother's Day, waking up in the morning and focusing on like, hey, nobody got me a gift. The kids are so little, they can't express themselves, or, I don't get anything. But then instead of doing that, which is, the fact, it's not like a lie, or, it's a fact, like I didn't have much. But then instead of focusing on what I did not have, but I focus on what I had, which is healthy, happy children, and that they were able to spend that day together. And on a Sunday, it was a nice day. It was the weather was perfect. And I think that just made everything so much better. So instead of like, being sad about what you do not have in terms of material. But then I didn't do that. I made a very conscious choice about like, you know what? This is all going to work out because I'm here. I'm having a great time with the kids. They're healthy and happy, and I'm healthy and happy. Why don't we focus on that? And I think little by little, by doing that, my life started to change, and it did get better little by little.
That's good.
I know it's kind of difficult to grasp. Like,
it has to start somewhere.
How?
It has to start somewhere. I mean, so next week is Father's Day.
Yes.
And I won't have any kids for Father's Day because 2 of them will be in Europe and 1 of them will be in California.
Yeah.
And I see that as a positive thing.
It is. I mean, they're independent. They're happy. They can do the things they want.
They're on adventures, and having them present for me so they can tell me I'm a good father is no different from them telling me that every other day of the year. So I'm not really that concerned about it. As for how you approach things, I think I've discussed this a number of times with friends. Everything is more around how you choose to react to something. One of the things I always tell the boys when they're having a bad day or there's been a bad incident or something, I always tell them, look, the chances are while what happened to you is unfortunate, it probably wasn't meant to be malicious. It wasn't a deliberate action on the part of somebody to cause harm to you.
Right.
I said, as a result, you should not react to such situations as if it is malicious. One thing I always point out to people is that your emotions act a lot quicker than your thinking. I always give a prime example, which is you're driving along happily and suddenly somebody cuts in front of you at short notice. And your initial reaction is always slam on the horn and scream abuse. Maybe if you do, maybe if you don't, that's great, but you're obviously not the other 99% of the population. One of the reasons we do it is because A, we're in a bubble. We are protected in our car, we're in a shell, and we think nobody can see us. So we can be as abusive or as angry or upset as we want. I think that's why you see what you do with social media, because people are in bubbles. They feel as if they're protected. They can say anything they want because they're hidden away behind their phone. A lot of what we say on the phone, we would never say to people in front of them.
True.
But anyway, the car comes along, you like this, you scream. And then after a few seconds, if you're a reasonable person, the thinking comes into play, which is, okay, nobody got hurt. We didn't get hit. Nothing happened. Just move on. Just let go. It might boil away for a while, but in the end, there's no harm done. There's no damage. And I said that is a microcosm of how you have to understand that the gut side of you will react a lot faster than the reasoning side. But after you get past that initial sense of hurt or anger or fear, it's primarily fear that drives you to respond the way you do. Take a deep breath and think about it. And that's where, in any situation, if you get past the initial emotional response to something and then think about it, A, it's not malicious, B, it didn't cause you great harm.
It's not personal in that
Not
case.
personal, just let it go. Do
Right.
not hold on to it. Do not let it pollute you. Do not let it poison your day, your life, your being. Just move on from it. And I think that's positivism,
Yeah.
which is more to do with, instead of just thinking everything happens for a good reason, it's more around just letting go of the stuff that doesn't matter. I think that's a big component of it. It's tough. I mean, it is tough. As someone who's been through separation, myself, you realize it's sometimes quite difficult to stay positive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's possible to be positive 100% of the time, but I think I do my best to be positive most of the time. And there are moments where you're just like, oh, I'm having a grumpy day.
And everybody can
have
a grumpy day.
Yeah,
everybody has a grumpy day.
But I think I definitely spend a lot of time reflecting. It's like, somebody cut me off. It's like, why did I react to that? It's totally not personal. The person would have done it to anyone else, right?
It's fear. It's a primal instinct. If somebody hurts you or somebody even steps on your foot,
right?
Somebody jogs into you, there's an immediate primal response to it. It's only the reasoning side of us when that kicks in, and that's always a lot slower.
Right.
That actually then allows us to understand the action in the context of the moment and realize that it wasn't as bad as we might think. So, but that takes training. That takes training and that takes experience. That's why you see how impetuous and emotional kids are. They don't have the experience. They don't have the rationing or the rational skills to understand how to respond to certain things. I find myself with my boys consistently having to tell them it's not that bad. Don't get too worked up about it. But it isn't easy. Trying to put ourselves in the mind of teenage boys or 10 or 11-year-olds is an impossible task because, my God, I have no recollection of me as an 11-year-old. I know I wasn't happy.
Right.
I was a bespectacled little kid. I looked like Harry Potter before Harry Potter had even been thought of. But in a comprehensive school on the outskirts of East London, I didn't really fit in. I looked really good in the school uniform, but that didn't necessarily mean I was going to be Mr. Popular. And as a result, my recollections of school are not particularly positive ones. So it's always, I've always been interested in how I became such an extrovert, given that a lot of what I went through should have made me an introvert. I should have been someone who hid inside a shell based upon what happened to me in those early years.
But I think you were born with, I think that personality just stays with you, whether you're introvert or extrovert. That doesn't experience. I don't think it should define you like, hey.
But I mean, no, it can, I think it has a very profound effect on you. Your experiences as children and later on in life will impact the way you then respond to other actions.
Well, it does, but it shouldn't change you as a person. I find some people let these experiences change them. I don't think it shouldn't. Like, if you are an extrovert, you should enjoy socializing with others. You should not just because of a few, unpleasant experiences that just change you to be an introvert. I think that
depends how unpleasant the experience is. If it's truly life-changing, that unpleasant experience can have such a profound effect on your personality.
But it's about working through those, right? Nobody has a life that has no negative experience. It's about working through those and just be who you are, be the authentic you, no matter how negative that experience is.
I heard a podcast a couple of years ago about being your what was it you just said? Being
Authentic.
the authentic self in the office. And that person said they tried it and it turned out to be not a great idea. They ended up being pulled in front of HR. So because they were so offensive. But they literally tried to be their authentic self, and they realized that the person that they were in real life could not fit into the office environment.
That's interesting.
It's like their views were taken badly. Their sense of humor was considered to be offensive. There were a whole number of things which turned out that the authentic self was really not the self they should bring to the office.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah. So do you think you bring your authentic self to the office?
Yeah, I do my best.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Because I don't know, I'm just so tired. I'm just tired about like hiding myself and just, present this other version of me that's not me. Just be me.
But I mean, you've known me for a few years now. So have you ever seen me be something other than who I am right now?
I don't think so. I think you are authentic. Or it appears.
I don't have the energy to be anything other than this. That's the thing. Now, does it fit into an office environment? It seems to work pretty well.
I think as long as you don't curse or, make other people feel bad, it's like that's who I am, right? So I use the same language at home and at work. I don't curse. And
You don't curse ever?
No, I don't curse ever. So
how do you do that?
It's just the way I was brought up. Just
good Lord,
very proper.
Wow. See, I came from a military family, so my father, he cursed like a sailor, which was appropriate because he was a sailor.
Right.
But we just kind of got used to it. There are studies that say that people who use profanity are more loquacious and have better vocabulary.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's just those 7 words, but
well, they probably use a little bit more words, more colorful words.
Yeah.
Than
Yeah, I
think others.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I do find myself trying to contain the kids. The kids swear way too much, in my opinion.
I agree. Yes, because I don't curse. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, no, yeah, why?
And I know I've sworn in front of them, but I've never been what I would consider to be a massive offender. Whereas I listen to the boys, even the twins. Oh my God, the twins. It's awful. It's like the number of times during the course of a day I'll go, language, enough, stop it. That's profanity. That's blasphemy. It's this.
My friends make them pay like $0.25 or $1 in a jar.
Oh, my kids would be broke if we did that. I'd have to make sure they had Venmo or something along those lines because the cost would be they don't carry that much cash.
Maybe they will stop. Who knows? If they like their money.
Well, there has to be the stick. Obviously, I tried it the other way, which is
carrot.
I did toy with the idea of saying, here's $20.
Right.
Every time you swear, I'm taking away 50 cents.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, based upon how many times you swear, you'll get the balance of that $20.
Did that work?
No, I've never had to pay out a single penny. Ever. Okay. It doesn't last. It can't last for more than just a couple of minutes. Eventually, one of them will do it. It's unfortunate. My brother, oh my God, my brother, who sounds nothing like me, looks nothing like me, is nothing like me, bless his heart. He cannot go a sentence without putting at least 3 F-bombs in it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's astonishing.
But like cursing is also part of not being so positive, right? Like, because you're cursing.
I think you can be positive and still, that's fucking brilliant. See? I just did it. I just proved that you can use profanity and still be positive.
Well, I don't know. For me, it's just way too hard. So I just stay away from it.
You're looking amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. It's only that word.
Yes.
That word.
Yes.
That one word. Has definitely...
With certain combination, it will work, but not always. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
certain combinations just don't actually do the desired result. It's the same way as using punctuation these days.
Yeah.
Have you had the conversations with anybody about how the use of punctuation in text message is hostile?
Is it?
Well, you never heard that?
No.
So I had a Gen Z or somebody working with me a few years ago. In fact, it was even one of my team who's a bit older than that. I remember one morning having texted him something. He responds with, "Are you angry with me?" And I go, "Why would you ask that?" He says, "You used a period at the end of the sentence."
I mean, yeah.
I was like, "Because it's grammatically correct."
Correct, right?
He said, no, it's deemed aggressive these days. The use of a period at the end of a sentence, in text messaging in particular.
Oh.
If you text with a period at the end, oh my God, you have created some problems there because you have undermined the confidence of the person reading it.
Oh, wow.
Like, what did I do to offend them?
A period.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You can use as many periods you want.
You almost have to think about the period has now become like a reverse exclamation.
But that's a little bit too sensitive, I have to say. Like,
but it's common. But it's so common.
Is it?
So common.
I'm going to have to do like a survey among my friends to see.
Well, start with your friends, start with your kids and see what they have to say. I mean, I'm
usually too lazy to put a period in my text, but I will see.
I got to the point where with the person who told me, not my co-worker, but a friend who told me about it, I would deliberately screw with them after that. And I would go, "Good morning, period. Like, you look fantastic today. Period."
Okay.
Because the way they read it was I was taking the piss. Period. Like, I was definitely it's like, what's wrong with me? Why are you saying that? It's like, oh my God, this is overly sensitive. But I also pointed out that one of my big problems when I write is I love exclamation points.
And that's okay.
Yeah, but there's too many of them. One year for Lent, I actually gave up the exclamation point, which is...
No way.
Yeah.
That's what you do for Lent.
Well, I'm not Catholic, so I felt like it was perfectly acceptable. One year I also gave up the ellipsis.
Okay.
So I said, I'm no more ellipsis. I love the ellipsis. The ellipsis and the exclamation point. I pointed out to people that the exclamation point, when you're texting or writing to people, can have such a fundamental impact on the message you're transmitting. For example,
I'm not sure.
Text. I'm really sorry, your cat's dead.
Okay.
I'm really sorry, your cat's dead. It's like it suddenly makes it sound like it's a good thing it's dead, that he did the cat a favor, that the cat's moved on to a better place. This is a positive thing. Like,
well, I think that's just too sensitive. That the person, the receiver, if they read it wrong, they're just way too sensitive to be my friend. Because it's just like, oh my gosh.
You're going to have to try it. Go back and look at some of the things you've texted to friends. I think you look awful. I think you look awful. It's like, they're going to be like,
what?
I'm confused.
Text is supposed to be like casual, just like quick communication, and don't take too personal.
What is the predominant form of communication you use these days? Is it phone calls or text?
Text, definitely.
Most of our friendships are now done over text.
Yep.
Most of them.
Yeah.
There are some people you haven't seen in years. You're still good friends with them primarily, but you haven't even heard their voice.
Possibly.
You haven't heard their voice. You haven't seen them on
But they should not be this sensitive. If they're this sensitive, and then get hurt and take things so personal, I don't think that it's, they can...
Yeah, but we live in an age where everything is personal. Everything is personal. Because of phones, because we're back to the whole bubble thing, the bubble of driving in a car, the bubble of having a phone. We're now at the point where people feel, because they're in these shells of impunity, they can be as offensive as they want to be because nobody will ever find them and hold them accountable for their offensiveness. But even when you're not offensive, there are people out there who will take offense. Taking offense at something is so innately personal. You could say to a room of 100 people something, 99 people think it's okay or they think it's funny. One person finds it offensive. And unfortunately, in the world we live in today, that one person is enough to bring that person down, because they will amplify the opinions of that one person who finds your stray comment, which was supposed to be something that it's not, obviously, to be offensive to them personally?
Well, so I'm going to put my positive thinking hat on and just say, well, I can't be friends with that one person, and I'll just move on with my life.
But why not? That seems so cruel.
I mean, it's too emotional. It's too much. Like, you can't just take everything so personal and so like offensive. It's not everything evolves around you.
That's not very positive, is it?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, I've led you into a corner here, haven't I? I think we can talk more about positive thinking again at some point down the line.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's time.
Yeah, we'll see. When you just let me ramble on, that's what happens. Things go. All right. So next one will be 10.
Yes, 10. We have to celebrate. I'm going to use 2 hands to, the finally 10.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands.
Yeah.
Okay then. All right. Number 10's coming up.
Yep. Like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.